It's never too late to join the party, and right here we have the HAVN BF360 FLOW, which means that it comes packed with two 180mm fans on front, and they're quite thick, I do have to say, comparing to any other 180 fans. And then we have another 140 fan here at the back. So this case is airflow focused, and when I'm saying that, it's not only focused for the CPU cooler regarding airflow or liquid cooling, but it's also focused for the GPU because it has a ramp over here that pushes the air from the bottom 180 and directly focuses it on the GPU, which is outstanding, and you'll see that in the performance benchmarks regarding the GPU, how it actually performs. But regarding the visual aspect, first and foremost, what you notice when taking the case out of the box is this top part, which is used to pull out the top panel. So it's basically really visible, but regarding that, it's focusing on the color scheme as the same as on the front. Now the front panel has something also quite interesting because I haven't seen this type of design on the case, and that's really cool because they have stone textured front panel, which is I would say a minimalistic design because it really has that stone texture finish for definitely premium visuals. Now, going forward with everything else, when they designed the power supply shroud, I'm not talking anything against the ramp and the focusing airflow. I'm talking about the cable for the GPU. Now, since this case is fully minimalistic and it goes into the segment where it really looks outstanding in all segments, I would only do one small thing, and that is an opening here on the power supply shroud, because it's totally closed off except for the part where the cables go for the PWM audio, HD audio, USB 2.0 or front panel jack. So opening it here, just here, for the GPU to have a waterfall effect for the cable would be much cleaner because the cable isn't running at the back. But honestly, everything else is just perfect. And going into that segment of perfection, we're having loads of details. HAVN logo here at the back, which is nice and subtle. HAVN logo on the front panel, which is also nice and subtle. And then you have these rubber pads for each panel that you use to have a better grip on removing the panels. So you have it on both side panels, and you have it here on top for the tempered glass when you're placing it back or removing it. It really doesn't matter, it's there. So the semi-open frame, which they called it like that, access, is also quite nicely designed because it's designed for the top part of the chassis. So you have two screws, one on each side, that you have to remove, and then you just slide out this top panel. This is really good because it gives you an option to adjust AAOs or additional fans like I did outside of the chassis, so you don't have to fiddle around with your hand sticking here, and you simply get the access. Now there are additional 3 screws which potentially need to be removed depending, are you going with 360 radiator, 280 radiator, or 180 fans, because I did place H18 here at the top, and since I'm running an air cooler, this is why I specifically wanted to have 2 additional H18 at the top. One is additional intake and one is exhaust, which in this scenario, and I think I discussed that in some other review, this front fan doesn't collect the air from the front fans. It actually pushes it downwards and focuses it on the air cooler, while the rear one and the rear top one actually create an exhaust, and basically makes total sense, to be honest. Now going forward, this is everything that you have on the front. One more thing that I have to say is the rubber grommets, which are just brilliant, and they collected that from the PAS HS420. And then we go with the GPU anti-sag bracket, which is actually quite nicely designed because you can push it upwards and downwards, and you can rotate it, which gives you an option to avoid the fans of the GPU. Now this scenario is really good because it has 2-point contact for the GPU with rubber tops going at the back. Now the back is, I would say, a slight masterpiece because what you have are regular canals for the cables, which give you an option to reroute the cables properly. Then you have Velcro ties, and I would say quite a lot, but in those canals you actually have something which I only saw on HAVN cases, indicates where the cable ideal routing would be. So two 8-pin EPS are going next to the 24-pin, and you're rerouting it at the top. The I/O ports like HD audio, PWM, or anything similar that is connected at the bottom of the motherboard is rerouted at the back. I mean, you can check the close-up because the cable management at the back is, with this case, a piece of cake, honestly. You just follow the instructions and you're good to go. Of course, in this scenario, when you're running a power supply that has a bit shorter 8-pin EPS cables, might not be a good solution to run them through the middle here at the back. They might even go better here on the side. But it's all up to depending on the cables, right? The cable length. That is one thing that I do have to mention. You also have two varieties. You have the BF360, which comes without the front fans and without the rear fan, but the Flow one comes with the front two H18 and one 140 at the back. Now for some details. The case is actually quite heavy. 13.6 kilos, the dimensions are 515, 254, 522.6 millimeters. We have front I/O, which is quite nice and subtle. You have the power on button, USB 3.2 generation 2 type C, two USB 3.2 generation 1 type A, audio jack, which is a combo jack for 3.5 millimeter, headset and microphone. Then motherboard support is eATX, ATX Micro, ATX and ITX, with 7 expansion slots for connection of the GPUs or any other cards that go into PCI Express slots. For the fan support, we have 7 at maximum. You could go with 2 at the top 180, 2 at the front 180, and 1 at the rear 140. Or at the back you can also go with 120, but honestly, if you're going with these type of fans that are already pre-installed, I wouldn't change a thing. But regardless, top can go 2 180, 2 140, or 3 120. Front can go 2 180, 3 140, or 3 120, and the rear, as you already know. There is also another cool thing at the back. You have this PWM hub, which needs SATA power, but it has 6 PWM ports. One needs to be connected to the motherboard, others are connected from the fan, so this is quite nice. Now when we're going with clearances and all the other stuff, we have CPU tower coolers going up to 195, which is massive. Then for the AIOs, top can go 360, front can go 420, and I/O thickness up to 60 millimeters. Graphic cards can go up to 410 millimeters, wide 195, the same thing as for the CPU tower cooler. GPU support can go up to 4.5 slots, and for the RAM clearance, if the radiator and the fan thickness is greater than 80 millimeters, if you take into consideration 280 millimeter radiator, the RAM height can be 40 millimeters, while with the 360 RAMs can go up to 60 millimeters. And for the storage, looking at the back side of the case, on the far left side you have two mounts which can support either two 3.5-inch hard drives or four 2.5-inch SSDs. The dust filters, we have one on the front, one at the top and one at the bottom, which is quite nicely and easily removable. So before we go into benchmarks, I would say this case is well nicely designed in terms of quality, visual aspect, minimalism without a doubt, because even the tempered glass has a totally different perspective when we're taking into consideration how they cut the tempered glass, because you have here edges on 45 degrees, and then the access to it, you do have to remove one screw for the tempered glass, one screw here for the backside panel, and two screws here to remove the top panel, and then everything else is just simply as it is. The front panel is easily removable because you have 3 hinges that log into place at the bottom, and then the top is held by the magnets. And all in all, I think the easy access and everything all together is quite enjoyable to build inside the BF360. But regarding the performance and benchmarks and all the other stuff, I really wanted to go, as I stated already, with air cooling just to test out this configuration at the top, giving me 180, well basically 3 180 as an intake. One is dedicated for the GPU, 2 are for the CPU tower cooler, and 1 is for an exhaust, and then we have 1 at the rear as an exhaust as well. AIDA64 Extreme Edition CPU goes up to 89 degrees, which is 2 degrees lower because I'm using the Trixturis 620 and pairing it up with AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D. That's 2 degrees lower. Clock speed is the same, 4775, and the GPU is 58 degrees, so that's 4 degrees lower than usual. Then we go with Cinebench. Now 10 runs on average. And this is really good because I can compare the case and the performance for this air cooler in this configuration. 77.6 degrees, which is lower again, higher clock speed 4990, and even higher scores 26,502. So all in all, what you can expect is in this configuration for air cooling is outstanding. Of course, you can adjust the fan curve for the H18 fans, and in some scenario, if you really lower down when it's in idle, they don't even spin, which is great, less noise. But I would say this case really is something quite interesting in terms of the approach to the building of the chassis, details and high quality material without a doubt. And let's be honest, it's a smaller case. It is wider than usual, but it's really heavy. And one thing that is missing, and I would definitely have to say that, is the back connect for you guys that actually do prefer back connect, even though this case has an outstanding cable management option. But for you guys that want to go with this minimalism, with this quality, it is missing the back connect options, even with those canals at the back. So yeah, I'm really digging the performance, really digging the whole approach when we're talking about the airflow in the air cooling department. When you combine all the H18 fans here and the air cooler, that actually performs really good. And yeah, I'm quite satisfied. Definitely a PC Crazy approved badge for the BF360 FLOW from HAVN, without a doubt. So yeah, that's all for today. If you really want to check out the HAVN BF360, you can do that in the links in the description. And do let me know, would you go with a AIO 420 at the front, 360 potentially at the top, or would you go with the same configuration that I did and just simply go with an air cooler? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye bye.